Hello. For anyone watching in the future, this is our first salon after the 2024 presidential election. Uh, I don't know what to say, but I'm going to try. I wrote something and I'm going to just read it so that I can try and get through it without crying. We are a Star Trek podcast, and we chose to endorse in this election because it was too important to stay silent. And it would be silly to just hold the salon without acknowledging the real pain and fear that countless people are feeling right now. I work in politics and have for nearly 2 decades. And what I can tell you for certain is no one knows yet what exactly happened. And you should be skeptical of anyone saying that they do, be it Bernie Sanders, be it pundits, and certainly Donald Trump falsely claiming a mandate for his agenda. What we do know right now is there was a rightward shift in voting in this election. Donald Trump improved his performance across all the swing states and in most, but not all, demographic groups. And a lot of people stayed home. Why is an unanswerable question this early? Votes are still being counted, and in a few weeks and months, we'll have a better snapshot of how things shook out. There are early exit polls, and we knew going into the election it was 50-50, and many people felt like the country was moving in the wrong direction. Hearing the economy is strong doesn't feel right when the cost of living is so high. Those are challenging circumstances for anyone in the incumbent party to face. Donald Trump has been running nonstop since 2016, but Kamala Harris ran an incredible campaign in less than 110 days. I will say, though, anyone talking about results without acknowledging the sexism and racism in America is being disingenuous or willfully ignorant. Now, you did not hear me say everyone, and you did not hear me say to tell people that they are racist or sexist. That's not a winning message, even when it's true. But stating the problem is the first step in addressing the problem. A lot of people are scared. For the second time in less than 10 years, an overqualified woman lost to a monster. In North Carolina, statewide Democrats did fairly well, but Kamala didn't take the state. In Arizona, voters passed a constitutional amendment to enshrine abortion rights in their constitution, but also voted for Donald Trump, who, let's be serious, will sign a national ban into law if given the opportunity, making that amendment useless. So whether it is sexism, racism, real and honest concerns about the economy, or anything else, and likely a combination of things, the fact is Donald Trump is going to be president again, and it will be worse than before. A lot of people are scared right now, especially people of color and LGBTQIA plus folks. All of that said, there are still signs of hope. Sarah McBride is going to Congress and will be the first trans person in the U.S. House of Representatives. Julie Johnson will be the first LGBTQ person in Congress from the South. Emily Randall will be the first Latina lesbian in Congress. There is still hope that the U.S. House will be in Democratic control, but either way, it will be a razor-thin margin. We're going to need to figure this out as a community and get working towards the midterm election, and there will be a midterm election. Now, I'm not naive. Republicans are going to make it very hard to vote, even harder than it already is, but we will have a chance in 2026 to turn things around, and even before then, there will be ways to be involved at the local and community level to be there for each other. If politics isn't your thing, other than voting, of course, get involved locally. Build up your local community through mutual aid, the local LGBTQ center, or a homeless shelter. Let's take a breath. Let's take space to care for ourselves. And when ready, find a way that works for you to join the fight again. And finally, just a word to my fellow white folks, including my fellow gays. We need to do better. This is a larger conversation, but for now, bare minimum, do not go to your friends of color for anything other than offering your support to them. Do not expect people who don't look like us to do the emotional labor. Don't go to your black friend and let them know, I voted for Kamala, I'm one of the good ones. We need to listen We need to stay engaged, and we need to follow the lead of those who are most vulnerable when they tell us what they need. All right, let's try to find some joy in these hard times. Star Trek offers us a view of a potential future, one that feels a little harder to achieve this week, but it is still possible. Let us talk about Star Trek Lower Decks.
This week sucks, but look at Starfleet fuck up some Borg.
Ahoy, hoy, friends, and welcome to the Salon. I'm going to bring in folks, starting with my co-host, Trevor. How you doing, bud? On mute. Yep.
That's how I am. That's how I feel.
Totally.
I have no voice anymore. That's how I'm doing. No, I have certainly had better weeks. But despite not knowing if I would be able to do this, I'm glad that my husband told me it was the right thing to do, because the minute I saw all of you backstage, I was feeling 1,000 times better. So I'm delighted to be here, delighted to be with all of you, including those of you watching. But most importantly, my friends who I love, and I'm glad we're all together.
Yes. Let's bring in Krista. Krista, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm still a little bit in the Sally Field, standing by the graveside in Steel Magnolias, screaming, I want to hit someone. I want to hit somebody. But also,
Here,
there
hit
are
Matt.
Where
I'm sorry, I had to have it was a Steel Magnolias moment I couldn't ignore. What was her name?
I can't
Weezer.
remember. I can't
Weezer,
remember
yeah.
her
Here,
name.
hit Weezer.
But I'm also sort of wanting to grab all of my conservative white sisters and force down some orange juice while screaming, "Drink your juice, Shelby! Drink your juice, Shelby!"
Well, speaking of juice, Matt, welcome on. How you doing?
Hi, everyone. I'm here. This has been a week from Palm Springs Pride last weekend now to coming back with getting some shitty work news at the same day that we get shitty country news, and I can safely say that I've consumed 6 bottles of sparkling in the last 2 days, plus a solid maybe a bottle of whiskey. So doing great.
Well, speaking of sparkling, here's Will. Yep. Suck it down like dick juice. Will, how you doing?
Hopeless, but
beautiful.
My hair looks great today, so everything's fine.
It does.
Sorry, Stanley. Your speech was lovely. It was a lovely speech, and I did for a millisecond felt some type of hope, but then I started drinking. So
there's this weird thing happening today. I've been numb since Tuesday night, but then watching this episode, I laughed at one moment that I'll talk about in Top Thoughts. And then I started to cry, and like it just keeps happening. Like I'll laugh a little bit, and then like it feels weird to experience any kind of joy, and then I start to cry again. So I just have to like hold the bridge of my nose to stop it. Not that there's anything wrong with crying. I'm just trying to host a podcast and doing my best. And speaking of doing our best, here's Ken. Ken, how you doing, buddy?
Doing our best. I'm going to go to Star Trek for a quote that helps, I think, sum up how I feel and how we should all think about it. It is, so get ready for your tosser alert, early tosser alert. It is from the very, very beginning. It is Dr. Boyce from the Menagerie, and I'm going to paraphrase it. And he says, one either lives life as it happens to them, meets it heads on and licks it, or they turn their back on it and start to wither away. And folks, this is not the time to turn our backs and start to wither away. So I'm gonna
That's right. It's time to lick it.
Problematic gay alert.
Exactly. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be licking a lot.
That does not necessarily involve a cock. That's all I'm saying. It
Right.
does
No.
not have to involve.
You thirsty bitch.
In the arms of the angel.
Look, there are plenty of places to put a tongue for intense pleasure.
Problematic gay alert.
I really.
That was even
needed
more
this.
disgusting than what I was gonna say. I was gonna say it's not necessarily dick, but it could be an ass. But like that was even worse.
No,
It was more eloquent, but I feel grosser having heard
Was-
that.
As the
Well, you're
official
welcome, Will.
scorekeeper, I was not
Thank you,
expecting to
Ken.
be this busy this early.
We're just trying to keep you distracted to make sure
Definitely
that
not going to like my intention setter then.
Oh,
Nope.
Oh God.
There are
speaking
no rules.
of
Rules.
speaking of setting an intention, we like I said, we want to try and find space for some joy even in these difficult times. And so we're going to be talking about this lovely episode of Star Trek today. Now, we can't do that, of course, until we simply must set an intention.
Indeed, we must. I thought it would be fun if our intention setter this week was actually something that has been helping my husband and I stay sane. And it's something that was inspired by my husband, and that is discussing things we're looking forward to. So I'd like to go around the room and have everyone just share something that they're looking forward to. And as always, I will start us off by sharing what is quite possibly the most pathetic thing for a 48-year-old man to say. I'm very excited that on Sunday I'm going to the zoo with my mommy.
That's adorable. I thought you were going to say a colonoscopy for your health. That's a great answer, Trev.
No, but everyone should get one if they're over 45. Anyway, no, going to the zoo with my mommy and her husband and my husband on Sunday. Looking forward to it. Excited about it. Gonna make it a thing. Will, my dear, other than having amazing hair tonight, what are you looking forward to?
Oh God, I don't know. I mean, I'm honestly, I'm looking forward to it being to the weekend because I'm
There you go.
a little burnt out this week. So it'd be nice to not have to do anything but get to rot for a day and just hang out and try to make another loaf of bread because my last two have turned out fucking terrible.
I look forward to that for you.
Yes, thank you so much.
You're welcome so
Ken,
much.
darling.
Oh, what am I looking forward to? Well, I will say, and this is going to be cheesy, that I will continue to look forward to this hour every week with all of you lovely people. Every week.
Hey.
So that's one thing. The other thing I'm going to look forward to is also just sitting back, randomly picking an episode of Star Trek and just seeing what happens. And I did that yesterday, and the randomizer picked brain. What is brain? So someone wasn't liking me, but that's okay. It's actually a better episode than I thought, having watched it, sort of, kind of. That's it. That's my answer.
I look forward to arguing with you about that episode one day. Commodore Rix, my dear.
you know
Something, anything, doesn't matter how big or small.
the original line that you gave us was you can't say nothing like, and it genuinely has been hard for me that I was like I don't know what I'm because I was really looking forward to the trip. So now I don't really have another trip, but I'm trying to pull back budgets and stuff like that. So I'm probably going to cancel. But I did, with what Will said, I'm looking forward to this weekend because I don't have any events that I have to do. And I actually get a Saturday and Sunday off. And that's like what happens to me like twice a year now. So, yeah, I'm going to, and I have like a dinner party planned on Sunday that I just now remembered I'm doing. So, that, and the last thing that I'm looking forward to is when I hand it over to Krista, I'm going to go get wine and decide to drink tonight, even though I wasn't going to, but I think that I should. So, Krista, what's powering your vibrator this week?
That's, well, Will, actually, not Will, but just Will is powering
First off,
my-
fuck you too, bitch.
You know what? You wouldn't want any of this. Let's be honest. This is not.
That's true. That's
You're
true.
not interested in this.
No.
I'm looking forward to a couple of things. The first thing I'm looking forward to is the remaining 7 nothing but bunt cakes that are on my gift card that someone gave me. 7. I'm having all of the flavors. And the next thing I'm excited about is in the near future, I think girls are going to realize that in their girl groups, they can get just as much satisfaction out of someone in their girl group as they would trekking around trying to find some guy. Satisfaction does not come with a penis. It doesn't have to. There does not have to be a turgid cock. You can get a vibrator. You can get this is my PSA. Get a vibrator, get a dildo, get your best girlfriend and figure it out. There's no pregnancy. There's no need to go to the extreme of getting sterilized. Just re-examine where you are. There are options. Just saying.
I was going to play the video, but there's nothing problematic about that. So I'm giving it a filler alert for the wordplay.
I would like to propose that we change that to a fill her alert as opposed to a fill
Wow.
her.
That's
Well, now I need to play the video.
as long I'm not gonna go there.
Problematic gay alert. You thirsty bitch.
In the eye.
It's a half and half.
Also a petty, messy bitch. So I'm really looking forward to a lot of Schadenfreude. I'm looking forward to everyone getting exactly what they wanted.
Well, I will take on the charge and also just welcome the audience, including Michelle. Welcome back to the chat. We are actually talking about that a little bit with our group, with our intention setter today. So what we're looking forward to fight that stage of grief that we're in. I've got 2 on the Star Trek front. I'm really looking forward to Section 31 and all of the upcoming projects. January 6th and January 20th will be interesting days, but then January 26th will be a delightful day of Star Trek. And then on a personal front, my sabbatical benefit kicks in next year on my 7-year anniversary date in February. So I think I am going to take that month off in May around the time of my 40th birthday. Where I'm going to go, I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. But lovely intention setter as always, Trevor, and much needed tonight. Folks in the chat, please do let us know what you're looking forward to right now. Anything and everything, keep it appropriate for a YouTube chat. What are you looking forward to find a little bit of joy in these difficult times? And with that, let us talk about Star Trek. Tonight we are talking about the latest episode of Star Trek Lower Decks, episode 4 of the season. Let me bring my slides in because they did not show up. Here we are. So let's kick this off with our top thoughts. I will start. First of all, I love when they do a little bit of a different intro. I liked it in I think season 3 was the first one. It's super cute, melancholic. I really enjoyed this episode. Like I said earlier, I've been mostly numb since the election, still am, but today was the first time I laughed at my favorite moment when this wonderful show canonized Experience Beige. For those who don't know, there is a wonderful VCR game. It was a TNG tie-in, and for the youngins, it's also on YouTube. But there's a video that you would play as you're playing a board game when a Klingon, not Galron, it's the same actor, looks exactly like Galron, not Galron, steals the Enterprise D, and you and the other players have to go around doing challenges to retake the ship. And every once in a while, not Galron would come up and be like, "You, the one who is moving now, experience beige." And you would have to pull a beige card, and it would be something like you get stunned or stopped by a force field. Delightful. And hearing that, I believe it was Jerry O'Connell was actually one of those voices. Experience beige, and the other one, you experience it. It got me just the right time. I loved the character development for Mariner growing into her leadership, Boimler being very different and growing. I loved that we got the 2 season-long arc things happening here. We've got the space hole of it all being strung along. There's a funnier way to phrase that with space holes, but I don't have it within me right now. There it is. But also Boimler's ever developing beard, if we can call it that. My beard is also very, very long. It takes forever for it to regrow, and so it's just another way that I identify with Boimler. And my final top thought is I love getting more of Miglimo lore. We know what his species is called now. We know his first name now, which is delightful. And unless I'm mistaken, he is named Gaber, or after a Gaber gash hawk, which is native to Saudi Arabia. So Gaber's Miglimo, and lots of delightful one-liners, and I'm excited to talk about it. So, Krista, what were your top thoughts on this episode?
The initial, like somebody else put in the chat, I want to say John. It struck me as everybody was wearing Picard Vineyard hats on the farm. I would say the A and the B plot, the bird vomit was more interesting to me than the Klingon A plot. I too love that Boimler is growing a beard, but the mustache is of the John Waters variety, which makes me think, where are my eggs? And every time I see it, I started thinking, where's my eggs? Where are my eggs? I like that warrior pits are a franchise option. Like you could just franchise a warrior pit. I thought that was very funny. That there is confirmation that both an anal expression and trimming your dog's nails is a combat like challenge worthy of captaincy. Having experienced both of those, yes, I would agree. But again, it was kind of, I liked the callback with the Chadich. I liked all of that, but it wasn't as, to me, it wasn't as funny as the previous 3 have been. And that may be just because I didn't get the inside jokes. I like that roadkill is honorable. That pacifies a lot of shame that I've had in my existence driving in the mountains. But that's it. I mean, it's funny, but it sort of feels like it's trying to cover all of the bases before it takes its final curtain. That's the feeling I get from these episodes now. They're trying to cover a lot. That's it.
Matt, your top thoughts?
I thought it was really cute. I liked the intro. I thought it was very idyllic. You had that very just ambient vibes intro of, and especially going into like Klingon warrior culture. It was fun to see like the very chill intro going in. I thought it was a really fun episode. It was clearly like a let's do every Klingon callback we can episode, which I thought was fun. Loved that we had Starfleet figuring out how to get around Klingon pain sticks. Using, instead of, it's the whole Starfleet thing, you're using your brain instead of your muscle, which was very on brand that way. I loved the animation. Every time that they would get zapped, I just thought, like, going through, I could watch that entire that entire sequence just to see the different like choices they made for everybody's face every time. I thought it was really cute. Yeah, I thought it was the bird B plot to me was a little. It was fun. I loved Freeman. I know you love Freeman too. Just popping in with the now. Wait a damn second! Like you're not arresting somebody on my ship. I she really is probably my favorite character. I mean, she is my favorite character in Lower Decks. I think she's just perfect. So, yeah, thought it was great. Definitely a little lighthearted. I forgot actually that it was happening today because again, I'm just shut down mentally. I'm operating on reserve power right now, and a skeleton crew. So to me, it was a nice unexpected little like, oh yeah, we got that today, don't we?
Oh, so I think I liked the episode a lot. It was packed with a bunch of things, and as I mentioned a couple times ago, I really like how, and maybe I'm just noticing this for the first time, but they're leaning into the fact that again they're an animated show with the the idea like last week when you had that long scream from Boimler falling off the skiing and the callback to skiing I thought was really cool, and the fact that they are definitely being progressive and the beard is part showing that progressing the storyline, but also as Matt was saying the pain sticks and seeing the different shocking of the pain sticks, that plus the fact that you had Migliamo molting all the time, and you had that last incident where they find out that they were eating shit, and then how they responded after all of that was very almost Looney Tunes. And, I am a gigantic fan of Looney Tunes, as people who know me know. And so I appreciated that in a lot of ways. And yet still very much Star Trek. So I also agree that they are trying to cram in a whole bunch of stuff. But I love the opening. And I love the last scene where you just see the Starfleet shuttlecraft just fly off. And then you go to the credits. I think it was very cinematic in that respect. The opening credits, the last moments, all the moments in between. So I think that this season, each episode of Lower Decks, again, only 22 minutes each, is just hitting so many marks and doing so much with the way of comedy and drama and pathos and character development. It's all there in each of these 22 minutes and moving the plot along with somebody is creating these temporal holes, and I really think it is Matt. But we'll get back to that later. So
my turn. I thought this episode was cute. I liked the kind of expansion of Klingon lore that wasn't just like we're warriors, you have to do a ritual, and they're like that sort of thing. Like having the farmers, like seeing them like harvest the gach, which was really funny, where it was like scooping the worms out of the ground. Like there was like some cool little things that they put in there. In the I liked Boimler wasn't in this episode a lot, but like I found him to be really funny where he's just like going off about all this Klingon knowledge, but instead of it being like, oh, we have to give a character to do this exposition, but Boimler's just like really into Klingon stuff right now was the line, which I thought was so funny, where Mariner's like, he's just really into Klingon stuff right now. And he's like, he threw me. Do you think it's like so stupid? It's like, oh, he has like a hyperfixation on Klingon culture right now and was so excited to be at this basically a Klingon version of an Applebee's. And it was just it was really funny. The B plot was a little was silly. I think the show was doing the fact that they're a species of birds, like a race of birds, and they're called Cloacans is really funny. I was like, that is a joke that is like, if you know that like any anatomy of a bird is so funny. It's like, oh, that's real. Like, oh, we made this new species, but the name of them is a joke. Like they could have like called them the Featharians or like the Beakians or something. No. Cloacans. Absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, I thought it was good. I need to watch it again because like there was so much stuff that was just packed into it. Like every episode is so packed with references and like I feel like I need to have like alpha memory open the entire time and like keep pausing the show because there's so many references I'm just not picking up or remember, and some of them are so obscure. But yeah, no, really cute, fun to see it. Like the weirder characters of the show get a little bit more of a spotlight instead of it just being about Mariner or about Boimler. We kind of got like an episode about the weirdest character, Dr. Miglimo. Is kind of funny. But anyway, yeah, it was fine. B.
I do want to just say that like I take a slight offense to that because my original species is a holite, so.
Oh. Lovely.
Problematic gay alert.
I thought it was Cumdumpians. Okay, never mind.
Problematic gay alert.
That's a racial slur, and I will not. I will not.
so
roll
sorry.
here for it. Okay.
You're Cumdumpian, but on your mother's side.
Trevor, what were your top thoughts of this episode? God.
I'm just glad. I'm glad someone else caught the cloacan comment, like the ridiculousness of it, because it means that Miglimo is literally from a race of assholes. It's just kind of fantastic.
Or dicks, technically.
Yeah. Combination therein.
Combination dick asshole.
I also I really appreciate, this is so obscure, but like, and it was, I don't think it was difficult to catch, but that their forks actually pre-chew their food was hilarious. Like that I don't know, it was just a funny, like the whole thing was ridiculous. And actually, I think the Miglimo storyline was more interesting to me, so I'm just going to stand out as the one that found the B plot more interesting than the A plot.
I did too.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
We are as one.
Always.
my heist partner. So the Klingon story was cute. I will say that I laughed for Stan when I heard the experience beige. No, you experience beige. Also, I didn't like the deep cut that is deserves like a massive amount of, like, I can't even, it felt like Stan wrote that line. Like it was like I've never thought about that line outside of the context of us talking about the ridiculous VHS game. So
shout out to the writer Diana Tay.
Go get you some, Diana. The rest of the I like Boimler's beard or whatever it is right now. But that being a through joke is great. I still want to know what's up with his pad, and like they didn't really reference it that much in this episode, which is fine, but I want to know what's up with that. Yeah, I couldn't get enough of the Miglimo ridiculousness, and every time they mentioned him being a cloacan, I kind of cackled all to myself. So yeah, I needed the laughter today, and I got it. So I was happy.
Yes, this episode was delightful. Let's deep dive. We've got an A and a B plot. A plot we'll call the Klingon storyline. B plot, the cloacan of it all. Show of hands. What should we talk about first? The Klingons or the cloacans? All right, we'll talk about. It's for the birds. Let's talk about it. So, couple of quick thoughts. I'll kick us off, and then I want to hear what everybody else has to say. Really funny one-liners. Sweet and sour hell. Look in this place. Like, I love that this is a race of foodies, that they developed warp drive to discover strange new meals. Really funny. Where else was it? The dramaticness of it, like sweet and sour hell, look at this place, and then that the dramatic performative, like, catch me as I performatively faint, carry me out of this place. It's so silly, but giving Miglimo something fun and interesting, and making his being a psychologist be important to solving the issue of their bullshit. super fun. What were y'all's thoughts?
I want to say the one thing that I was fully expecting towards the end, it obviously makes much more sense with Miglimo being the psychologist, and that's why they lost their taste and everything. I fully thought that Lower Decks was going to make like a COVID joke about losing your scent of smell and taste, because there was that whole thing about people that like the candles had no scent and it was terrible. And like, I thought that they were going to do this like avian flu COVID joke with that, but I'm actually glad that they tied it back into it because I thought it was fantastic.
I think that we found who we should all cosplay, because I think a number of us could really do a great job cosplaying these characters at STLV. And I'm looking at you, Stanley, and I'm looking at you, Will.
How dare
The
you?
drama of it all. The drama of it all.
How dare you? When have I ever
I
been
take great
dramatic?
offense. How dare you?
There you go. See?
Never been
Never.
dramatic in my
These
life.
feathers on you, and we're good. So
Will, what were your thoughts?
I love the line where they said, have you discovered any new soups or stews? And he's like, I've come across a few chowders. Like fucking gross.
Yeah.
Like, and then he goes, I programmed the replicator myself, and she goes, he's a heretic. Heresy. That was so funny. And then the one faggot bird, I want that sweater.
Yes.
That
Yes.
sweater was fierce. I was like, wait, that's fucking fierce. Give me that sweater.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it was like,
Paramount. Come on.
give me the sweater. Like it looks like, I feel like I know where I've seen that type of sweater before, but I'm definitely gonna find it now. But yeah, and then like the fish, it looked like a blobfish. Have you ever seen one of those, which is a bunch of eyes on it? And like the food jokes were really funny. And then the birds being food critics when like birds will eat almost just about anything. So like funny stuff. So and then going the amuse bouche, so there's an amuse bouche before you go. It's so just the layers of jokes on it where they're just like, oh yeah, there's no butter, and they're like, like it's so like as someone who watches a lot of cooking shows and likes to cook, like the cooking jokes are really funny. He goes, it's just insulted at all. He goes, there's salt all over it. It's just like, because you always finish with salt. So it's like, there's so many stupid jokes.
The reference to their, we got a little bit of a reference to, or an allusion to their belief system. You'll be removed from the great seating chart.
That's exactly.
Yeah, that was really funny.
Like everything is as an event. Everything is culinary hospitality. Like I found that infinitely hilarious as someone who literally has to do that all day, every day, in and out.
We'll see that. What was it? We'll see that. We'll make sure that they never see the. What is it? It's coming up actually in the background here. That's funny. We shall banish your entire family from the great seating chart.
Seating chart, yeah. Like it's just silly.
Yep.
Silly. I like that they're kind of leaning into the silliness a little bit this season. Yeah.
100%. I love silly.
I like
Silly
that they leaned hard into the Yelp of it all, the social media of it all, and that everything's got to be perfect when they get here, but the idea is that it's not going to be perfect. You can do whatever you can. I liked the book of the flavorless, which just almost made me wet my pants laughing. The idea of a jail being something without butter. Yes. I co-sign that. But
you used to own a restaurant, right?
Little things, the little things that ate their food for them before they put it in their mouth. All of those little things remind me of all those little pretentious tweezers so that somebody can put a piece of fucking one leaf of tarragon on a deviled egg. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. The pretension of it all. And really they're just it's just so the fact that it was so performative in the show, my performative feint, my performative, superiority, all of that was just beautifully representative of how performative all of that is in real life. And I love when they take the real life stuff that everybody is sort of afraid of saying, hey, that's bullshit out loud. And they just go, you know what? It's bullshit. We're going to say it out loud, and we're going to double down and do it on our show, and we're going to tell people to fuck off. I think if I'm not mistaken, Boimler said, don't be such a cock. Am I wrong?
He said something in Klingon, but it sounded like that. Yes.
Thank you. It sounded like don't be a cock. I love that. They just played with Klingon language. Is it a Klingon word? Maybe. Is it just cock? Maybe.
It's never just cock. But anyway, go ahead.
God, Ken, you fucking freak me out when you do shit like that.
She's not used to the humor.
My job here is
Oh God, I don't even know what video to play for that. All of them.
Sure.
Here's
Problematic
one.
gay alert.
And the
You
other.
thirsty bitch.
All of the above. I just paused on the background here towards the end. They have restaurants in the sky. They have their skyscrapers. They have a bunch of egg-shaped buildings, which is fucking hilarious. And then their prison is quite literally a bird cage. Just like it's so funny. Like, come on. They are literally being taken to a bird cage, and their amuse bouche is oysters, which do taste like shit to me. Sorry.
That is a bold statement. I love
I
oysters.
can't. I have tried them only twice, and like I should probably try them more. But like, so there's a place in Tempe, Arizona called Casey Moy's Oyster House, and you would think Arizona, that's insane, but they've been written up in foodie magazines across the country. I tried it there, couldn't get into it. Tried it when I lived in San Francisco, closer to the water, and it just couldn't.
But how's the amuse bouche?
The amuse bouche was delightful.
It was
as always.
shit.
I find it really cool, Matt, that you love oysters. I'm just saying that you love oysters. That's good.
I don't know how to take that.
Saying you enjoy phlegm. I like a good globule of phlegm.
No.
Does
you
anybody
just put
here
the
think
fast
Matt
food,
is
you put the
any
red
sort
wine
of discriminative about what goes in his mouth?
I am, not cilantro.
Problematic gay alert.
Oh God, are you one of those
You don't
freaks
like
that it
anything
tastes like
that
soap?
That tastes
Thanks.
clean in
Do
your
you have that?
mouth.
Do you have that genetic
I am
disorder?
15%. Yeah.
Now look, let's be nice. First of all, we already knew this because we took Matt to a Mexican place, and all he thought we were stuffing his mouth full with soap, and that because he felt bad that he was saying all kinds of nasty things, so we gave him cilantro.
Yeah.
And if you're going to be our parent and restrict us to certain commentary, you cannot.
I'm not restricting anybody to anything.
Or innuendos or double entendres. It fucks with my brain.
We need
Krista's having
consistency.
a full meltdown.
I don't want Krista to melt down.
Please don't make me melt.
Her saucer is
I'm
separating
so
now.
close. I'm so close.
She's melting. What a world, what a world.
Any final thoughts on Bird City? The birds,
I was trying to figure out who was voicing the gay bird, but
apparently it was
that granular.
Yeah, apparently it was one of the I think it was the same voice actor that did I forget his brother's name, but the Klingon brother.
Oh. I didn't hear
guy.
what his name was, but yeah.
Yeah, I do want that sweater.
Which one?
That's
Which
fucking
one are we talking? Oh, that's
It's fucking good.
Yeah.
And the actor's name is Sam Witwer.
Sam Witwer, yes.
yeah.
Whitwer. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's not. That sweater's fierce. Give me that
Yeah.
faggot sweater.
Look at it.
They need it. That'll be my
That
cosplay.
word?
I'll just show up in that.
You know, we should have actually called this segment "Feed the Birds" in great tribute to Mary Poppins.
All right, Ken, go ahead and excuse yourself.
Just
Kidding.
That would have been funny. It
Yes,
would have been
the
funny
most-
if there was like tuppence a bag. They handed it. Never mind. All right,
Yes,
fine. Go.
the most depressing song of any Disney film.
Yeah, good
Feed
God.
the Birds.
No,
Way to bring down the mood to the
it was
room.
Walt Disney's favorite
Yeah.
song.
Ken, this moment is the worst thing to happen to anybody this week.
It was Disney's favorite song. Anyway, all right, fine.
I just want to say something.
Say
Dick
something.
Van Dyke is a good name, but
Pussy Von Faggot is out of
Von
bounds.
Faggot is not right.
I fucking love that. Oh,
Pussy Van Faggot's not a good name, but Dick Van Dyke is. I can't.
somebody posted that a while back and it got
misogyny.
flagged.
I think about that all the time. I think
Yes.
about that, and someone told me once that avocados taste like clean dick, and I can't think about anything else when I eat an avocado.
What?
They said
Problematic gay alert.
they said that avocados taste like clean dick.
Was it a new thing for them? Where they were like,
I don't know.
That's
I don't
So
have
wait,
anything
does-
other than that, but like I guess like now I
I
have
get it,
avocado and I go
though.
clean dick.
Listen, I get it. I kind of get it. I don't like it that I get it, but that yeah.
Some people cilantro tastes like soap. Other people avocado tastes like clean dick.
So
Yeah,
maybe
I have
that's
that
why,
genetic disorder.
This changes
That-
everything.
but that's exactly why whenever I eat guacamole, I really want to shower with a man.
You know,
Matt, I'm gonna need you to identify the food that doesn't make you want to shower with a man.
why is it when I tell them they can put it anywhere they want, they would just want to put it in my ass? Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
And all this started with me referencing Mary Poppins. Amazing.
well, Mary
See what you
Pussy
Poppins.
Van Faggot.
She
Yeah.
was a messy bitch, though. You know she was. She was married to Blake Edwards.
Ugh.
Bent over a table on a regular basis. You know she was. She was not
I
a
hope so.
Mary Poppins?
girl.
Dick
Also-
Van Dyke was bent over a table on regular occasion.
Just for the
Yes.
entire the audience and the chat right now. I'm sorry, we're all processing grief in different ways.
Listen,
Now
they know what they signed up for.
Now I want to know.
They know what they're here for.
Now I want to know
And why
If
we're
her-
talking about things that can fit into Matt's mouth.
which.
This
Now
is
I need to
the-
know. I need to know if Mary Poppins' bag was a metaphor.
Yes.
Oh, how much
It wa-
she can
so-
put in her
It
bag.
was a metaphor for Matt's ass.
One of my favorite scenes that I ever did in improv so far, my scene partner initiated a scene where she was Mary Poppins, I was her boyfriend, and she was trying to get it on while at work because the monologue set that up somehow. And in the second scene we did, she started singing about putting a ball gag in my mouth, and it was the funniest fucking thing I've ever been part of. And I just had to sit there and take it, and it was delightful. And if you'll give me a second,
Problematic gay alert.
Mary Poppins is a freak, and that bag is a metaphor. Speaking of metaphor, no, that doesn't work.
But her umbrella.
I
was
know
a
that
bird.
was bad. Whichever one of your dogs was like bad segue, Stan. I get it.
So
It
her
was
umbrella was
yeah.
a bird, and now we're back to birds. See? Oh, it works out. Now let's go to the Klingons, who don't have umbrellas.
And
Ken,
now,
are you the host of this salon?
How did we
Yes,
get
tonight.
Calm your tits.
Well, okay.
As a segue to talk about the Klingons, I do want to mention real quick the I loved at the end that there was a tie-in of the two stories with Boimler seeing that the Cerritos got a 2-star review and Mariner being like, what the fuck is that? I don't care. Delightful. Let's talk about the Klingons. I agree with Matt. I loved it every time they got shocked. It was so funny. The animation was great. Really fun way to tie in the season-long arc of what's going on with these space holes. I said it. And having this character that we've known since Wej Duj pop in again, had a delightful arc or appearance last season. So being able to touch on that and figure out what was going on next was a really good use of the character and his plot to tie in. Getting Mary Chieffo back as the slutty Klingon was super fun. She was a very different Klingon chancellor in Star Trek Discovery, and so getting to be a more fun, flirty self was just delightful. And then again, some one-liners in this part. I loved your stupid bones caught the decorative horns. Great. And what crawled up her boob window and died?
Boob window.
Boob window. So funny. What crawled up her boob window and died? Like the whole line is great, and then just referencing boob window.
I spent 5 minutes trying to figure out what a fucking boob window even is. Like, I have boobs, and I don't understand where
The Lursa and Pator boob window.
The boob window
Is
that
it
Lursa and Bale.
just where the
Find a picture.
cuts
I'm
down?
finding it.
Yeah, it's coming.
Give me a
Somebody
Lursa and
Google
Bale.
boob window. Joanne.
Why is it taking me to Facebook? Gross. No.
Lots of boob windows on Facebook.
Oh, I didn't know that. Sorry.
It was an interesting runner-up for the name of the site.
Oh, I didn't know that. Here it is. Somebody posted about one of the Duras sisters, and I did not realize that it was the same actress that played Cop Lady in the Voyager episode.
Yeah.
And yes, may she rest in peace and Stovacor. But boob window is referencing their costumes.
It's just a okay.
Yeah.
that actually makes it more funny.
Yeah, boob window in their costume. Delightful. I also loved Get Over Here and Clutch Me, You Coward. So fun. Oh, and we learned in this episode that Kalis did impressions. What? It's so funny. Like, not the first one, the real one, the one that did impressions. Love it. I love that we get a little silliness in Klingon culture. It's needed. What were your all's thoughts?
Yeah, yeah.
We also had the return of a candle, which reminded me of all of you.
Oh, that is very, very sweet.
Not really, but it is kind of sweet, I guess. The return of the candle. I forget where the candle came in, but it was definitely there.
There were several candles in this.
It was an ancestral candle that came with its own sex ghost.
Sex
and the
ghost
one
was
that Miggly Mo in his.
I think that's headcanon.
I'm thinking right about now, there are a lot of young girls out there that would be down for one of those candles right now.
You thirsty bitch.
In the arms of the angel.
Speaking of candles, in approximately 9 months, 10 months when we're at STLV, if you're a subscriber, find me for your candle, which does not come with a sex ghost included. Sorry,
but you can supply your own, and I can teach you how. For a nominal
There will be
fee.
many willing sex ghosts in Vegas for STLV. I will be one of them, probably.
cosplay option.
Wow.
I also just started my new medication, so by next August, I'm going to be snatched as fuck. So watch out.
Can't wait for everything to just fully align. STLV 2025. Here we go.
Something to look forward to in these.
I'm going to
five-
show everyone my boob window.
Yes.
I think we'll need to have boob windows.
And I'm getting Krista a T-shirt that says "It's just a cock."
It's just talk.
I want to congratulate the Jake the nerd, because apparently Jake is getting married to multiple people. Listen, do it while it's legal.
Do it while we still have a functioning government to even acknowledge marriage in the first place.
And yes, you did miss. So wait, Jake the nerd. I'm assuming you've seen The Next Generation. Otherwise, spoiler alert for 30 years ago. there was an episode, an actually decent Worf episode, if you can believe it, where Kalis was cloned, resurrected. Turns out it was a clone. It was a lie. So yes, there are now multiple Kalises, but the Klingon today was referencing the real one, the one that did impressions.
They lie.
The
That's
one that
the
was a magician. You know, the one that was a ventriloquist.
Other thoughts on this this part of the episode?
I love the dynamic between the brothers,
Mhm.
because it was like very, you know, it wasn't just like because I never really understood like Worf's relationship with his brother. It was just like his brother just seemed like some sloppy kind of disaster, and then Worf's like, you can't do that. And he's just like, I'm fucking Klingon, whatever. Like this was more interesting, I would say. And then him being a farmer was funny. And then Mary Chieffo's character basically being an impression of Kalar was really funny, because then it makes all of the women seem like either you're the Duras sisters where you're crazy, or you're just like seductive. So like either way, I thought it was really funny. But like, yeah, the Klingon stuff was good, that it wasn't that it was nice to see something other, like the warrior stuff, be taken a little less seriously. But that was anyone else just like when the violence at the end was so jarring and so graphic, like the pink blood, it would just feel like anytime there's like a certain amount of like violence in this show, I find it funny. But like this was so, I was just like, oh my god, there's so much blood. And then like he's done, I was like, Jesus, like it was so, but yeah, and it being just the Pepto-Bismol pink is so funny too. But like I was so like, oh wow, this is really, it was like shockingly violent for a second. But yeah, I did think, I would love that they, you know, they have to continue the pink blood, but it just
Pepto blood,
like, but like in the most violent fucking stabbing, and it was just like you see it go through, their blood everywhere. It's like, oh my god, like
I like
this episode where these,
I wasn't trying to get the guy killed, but
yeah, like oh wow, yeah,
That's another thing we haven't really talked
Crazy.
about, the fact that like Mariner had that entire mission, that it's like, oh yeah, well, by the way, there was like an actual thing going on here, like,
but like he was okay with it. He was okay.
Yeah.
He wasn't like, oh yeah, whatever. It wasn't like this was subterfuge. She's like, yeah, it's fine. She's like, oh, we needed a captain to let us come into fucking Klingon space. I was like, oh,
like that just gets like that was a fairly important mission too, and they sent Mariner and Boimler on it, like, which I also love that we're seeing that like Mariner and Boimler are being acknowledged as, oh, we still can't promote you and we don't really trust you, but like you're really good at what you do, and so we need you to go do these things, like, because obviously the last one with the spy mission with Ransom and Boimler, it's just really fun to watch how it's like evolving, I guess.
Yeah. Plus, she has a relationship with the, it's like, well, send her, figure it out. It's delightful.
Love it.
I also want to say that the idea that it was on the farms, and then the title of the episode, A Farewell to Farms, is a nice tribute to Star Trek's historical reference to literary episode titles, but of course in a spin on it, as Lower Decks does. So I thought that was very, very cool that they did that. So they're paying tribute to the history of the franchise, but also doing it in their very Lower Decks way, which I thought was very cool.
And it reminded me of a DS9 episode, A Call to Arms. Go Niners.
And this episode, Up in Farms. It's the best I could do.
Also,
That's
the idea that if you fuck up so bad that you actually lose your commission, the only alternative is to either be a vintner or a farmer. Like,
It was very Picard of Kronos.
what, you both wear the same hats. Doesn't matter what you're doing. That's
Yes.
like the I fucked up so bad I had to retire hat.
Was this the first sort of suggestion that blood wine is made from gach?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Yes.
I think so.
So like there's a fermentation process. You can either eat your gach and not get drunk, or you can drink your gach blood wine, and get
Which
fucked
makes
up.
Gach grapes.
Yes, gach
So
is great.
really, they're all vegetarian.
They're all bootleggers, is what they are. Everybody's
Yes.
a bootlegger
Calm your boob window.
in your retirement. Let's make some spirits.
Get over
I
here
just
and
felt that.
clutch me, you coward. Any final thoughts on the Klingon scenes?
Kapla.
Kapla. Final thoughts on this episode before we bring it in for a landing.
I think this episode was a fantastic juxtaposition to everything going on. I think it was nice. There wasn't a lot that you had to think about. It was just entertaining. There was just some good fun.
It was the right amount of silly.
Yeah.
All right, Trevor, you want to give us the tallies for the evening?
I would be delighted. Sorry, I just had to clear my throat first. Too much gawk. There were 9 problematic gay alerts. There were 4 problematic ally alerts, 1 tosser alert. So I think, well, yeah, that sounds about right. 5,000 bonus points to Will for keeping hope in his hair. 25,000 bonus points to Michelle in the comments for group hugs via the interwebs. 69 million bonus points to Krista for discussions about sex toys and therapy. 10,000 bonus points to Joanne for pointing out problematic Warrior Pit references. 16 bonus points to Ken for taking us down Mary Poppins Lane. And 2,200 bonus points to Matt for having fun with holes, but -5 for not liking cilantro in at least one of them.
Listen, it is just one of them. The rest of them are fine. No, not nose.
I don't think you want cilantro on your butthole, boo.
Why? I'm sure it's fine. It's not going to burn.
Wow.
Oh.
Thank you all for joining us.
That's how we wrap it up.
Thank you for
Cilantro
coming
focus, Mark?
tonight.
Listen, it's a scary time. Let's just be honest. It's going to be rough. Community is going to be incredibly important. So thank you to my fellow Saloners for spending this time with me. Thank you to everyone in the audience. Please do like and subscribe. It feels so weird to try and transition into like our podcast, please. The world's falling apart. But please, dear God, like and subscribe on all of the places. We're on Patreon if you can. There's also a free tier there. We're on Spotify. We are here on YouTube. Please subscribe. It helps us get out to more folks and spread this joy across the galaxy. And on Blue Sky and Twitter, we are not going to leave Twitter. No shade to anybody who is making that choice, but it's only going to become a worse echo chamber for the worst people you've ever met. The more good folks leave it, but it is still a place where we can find community with fellow Star Trek lovers. So we are going to stay for the time being. Please do follow us if you stay, and may anybody who enabled Donald Trump's victory experience beige. We will see you all next week. Live long and prosper, y'all.
All hands abandon ship. Proceed to the nearest evacuation zone immediately.